Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And there's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Thursday, the 9th day of December, the 5th day of Teves. Today we want to do this halacha with you, and that is answering amen to brachas that you hear on a phone call or a Zoom call, video call, or anything like that. So let's go back from the beginning. Many of the poskim say that you cannot really fully fulfill, like Havdalah would be a great example. You can't really fulfill Havdalah by hearing it on the phone because you're not really hearing the voice exactly of the person reciting the Havdalah. You're hearing a electronic remake of what the person is saying, but it's not really his real voice. And so you're not really going to fulfill a mitzvah when you hear it over the phone. But that doesn't answer the question about amen. The amen question is just a question of, okay, so I won't fulfill a mitzvah, but if there's some kind of minyan going on over Zoom or a bracha that somebody's making over his drink, yeah, I'm not fulfilling the mitzvah with that, but may I answer amen to what I just heard on the Zoom call? That's the specific thing we're hitting now. So you might assume that, well, if I'm not fulfilling the mitzvah, then I can't say amen either, but not so fast, because answering amen is not exactly the same thing as whether I'm going to fulfill the mitzvah or not. We've made clear that you can't fulfill the mitzvah according to most of our poskim today, because you're not really hearing the voice, but can I just say amen? Amen is like saying, yes, I'm agreeing to what I just heard, so can I say that? So there is a Gemara, believe it or not, which gives us a lot of insight into how we're supposed to view this situation. It's the Gemara that talks about how there was an enormous shul in Alexandria, Virginia, way back in the time. And there were so many people in that shul that when the person, wherever he was, far away in this giant building, made a bracha, there were people far in the back who couldn't hear what was being said, and they would raise flags, and people would understand what bracha they were at, and they would answer amen. So based on this, the Shulchan Aruch says that, well, you can answer amen as long as you have an idea of what bracha is being said, and it's being said by a trustworthy person who means, praising God and everything. You can answer amen to that, just like they did in the shul in Alexandria. I almost said Alexandria, Virginia. Alexandria, Egypt. For this reason, Rab Chaim Kanievsky, also Rav Asher Weiss, and also Rav Hershel Schachter encouraged people to say amen when hearing it over a Zoom call or a phone call or something like that. Rav Shlomo Zalman was negative on this topic, though. He said, no, you can't answer amen, and it's an amen levatala. And he differentiated between amens over Zoom and amen in the shul in Alexandria, Egypt. He said when they were in the shul in Alexandria, they were all contained in one room, albeit a very big room, but they were all in one area, so amen was more appropriate. But on a phone, you're far away, and you're not collected in the same place, and therefore he said that it's an amen levatala. So what should you do now that you're seeing rabbis debate this? They asked this to Rav Hershel Schachter, and he said that since there are opinions each way, some say it's okay and some say it's not, and they're from very prominent rabbis on both sides, then he said that you could say it because the worry of an amen levatala is not such a concern. It's not like saying God's name in vain. It's nothing like that. And therefore he said there are prominent rabbis who say it's appropriate to say that amen, some that say that it's not. Saying the amen and risking that it might be for quote unquote nothing, he says you don't have to concern yourself with that and go ahead and answer amen on a Zoom call. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.